You certainly know how to look after your sack self. Let's push your gladiatorial skills to the limit in the Arena of Susan. I didn't want to say arena of combat or fighting or something too tough. Let's keep things nice, like my cat, Susan. To create your very own arena, go to your moon, select a suitably creative crater and press the action button. Peruse the themes available and pick one that takes your fancy. In the level, open up the old Poppet and select Create Track and Arena with the Action button. Select Create Arena and action that. Some interesting shapes available, so have a think, have a choose, have a press of the Action button. Spawn points are automatically installed so all the carts can make impressive entrances. Incidentally, if the border of your arena isn't quite right or is geometrically displeasing to you, alter it. Paint the border area by holding down the Action button and moving your brush where you want your changes to sit. Our old chum Donny Delete button is always there to take away any mistakes or bits you don't need. Accoutrements in the shape of weapon pickups, stickers, decorations, or whatever else you think your arena needs can be added whenever you wish. Okay, let's have a little test of the track, shall we? See if it's suitably tracky. That's technical talk for good grip, the right amount of curves, corners and hills, and above all, does it make that deliciously, audibly pleasing screech when you burn the bends? Important factors. So, keep pressing the close button until your Poppet is gone. Then press down on the directional buttons. Now make room for the old vroom vroom, because you are now driving me, old sackboy racer. Have a spin, get the feel of the road, and when you want to get back to where you were, press on the directional buttons. Or, how about a test race? We kartheads usually get to know a track best when we're in a race, so press the Start button to bring up the Pause menu. Select Change to Play mode. 3, 2, 1, ready, Teddy, go! Blast off! You're racing! You can return to your editing business by selecting Change to Create mode. Ordinarily, I leave the decorating to Susan, although she's never quite 100% happy with the outcome, but that's pernickety cats for you. In Little Big Planet, everyone will want to exercise their own exquisite taste in decor, because it's all done in 3D. Select Stickers and Decorations with the Action button in your Poppet. Peruse the wonderful stickers on offer with the directional buttons, or left stick if that's more comfortable. Use the L1 and R1 buttons to browse different pages, because on the second page are the decorations. Makes you want to put one hand on your hip, one over your mouth, and gasp the words, "Oh, my giddy aunt, that is gorge," doesn't it? Me too. Select one with the Action button and place it in your level. The perfection doesn't end there. You resize stickers and decorations by pressing the up or down directional buttons and rotate them by using the left and right directional buttons. Make them rise and fall into position with L2 and R2. And if you think it's just right, then immediately change your mind, like a certain fussy feline I know. Simply delete it with the Delete button and start again. The Goodies bag, found in the Poppet, contains materials, props, and created and collected objects. These objects give you the freedom to make your level look however you want. Let's take a look at this bottomless carrier of wonderment, shall we? Open up your Poppet and select it. As you gad about in story mode, you collect things, cool stuff, useful items and the like. The props are automatically stored on page 2, ready to be inserted into your levels. You can browse through your items with the left stick or the directional buttons, and if you want to play with one, select it with the action button. To traverse your level, you move with the left stick. You move the prop up and down with the L2 or R2 buttons. The directional buttons permit scaling, so you can change its size, and you rotate it with the left and right directional buttons. If you think you have your prop in the exact shape and place, press the action button to seal the deal and pop it in your level. We have a little saying about our editing services up here. Indeedy, it's all done in 3D. I didn't say it was a particularly good one. Yeah. To edit an object, first open your Poppet and then select the Poppet cursor. Place it over the object you want to alter and press the action button. Now you have free rein to move it in any of the 3 dimensions. Faff on with the editing tools available. Get something wrong and you can simply undo it with the confusingly titled Undo button. The Delete button rids you of it completely, if so be your will. Of course, everyone has a change of heart from time to time. Susan went vegetarian last week for an hour. A vegetarian cat, I ask you. So, if you've placed an object in your level and it's not quite right, you can alter it in the Tweak menu. It's easy. Open the Poppet, select the Poppet cursor, and then select the item you wish to modify. The Tweak menu will spring into being when you select the item and tap the Menus button. There's a range of adaptations you can play with here, such as snapping the object to the ground, mirroring it, or even rotating it in 3D space. Modifying an object in 3D is quite exhilarating. The left stick and directional buttons enable rotation of the object on the X, Y, and Z axis. Give it a spin! We all like to make and do, and you can't get any more makier or doier than in Little Big Planet. We call the things we create custom objects, and materials are the solidified primordial soup they are made from. You collect materials as you gad about the Imagisphere, and they're automatically saved in your goodies bag. Open your Poppet and go to the Materials page. OK. Choose a material and then select a shape that takes your fancy. Susan likes circles. She's a well-rounded sort of cat. I like squares. Wonder what that says about me. Once you've chosen a shape, your custom object to be will appear, along with a handy grid for reference. To rescale the shape, use the directional buttons. They also rotate it, so you can get a good look at it to ensure it's just so. You draw by holding down the action button and moving the left stick. The back button allows you to choose a different-sized brush, whilst the delete button is the tool to make holes or chip away bits you're not fond of. If you click down the left stick and hold it there, then press the thickness button, it will increase the thickness. But couple old lefty with the thinness button and you can make it thinner. If only waistlines were so user-friendly. Now, if you're one of those perfectionist types, like a certain cat who shall remain nameless, that turns her nose up at the dish if it's placed down at not quite the correct angle, then we have the Snap mode. Snap mode is in the Pause menu and is capable of moving, rotating and scaling your custom object by a predetermined scale that you can set. You don't want to draw your objects too big. There's only so much space in a level after all, so less is more. You can scale and adjust it however you like once you've committed the shape, though. That's a given. Once you're happy, press the back button to return to your Poppet. If in the future you fancy further tweaking, highlight the object with the Poppet cursor and press the Tweak button for the tweak menus. The golden rule in Little Big Planet is dynamic means you can move it, static means you can't. I didn't say it was a particularly catchy golden rule. In a Custom Objects Tweak menu, you can re-edit the shape as well as set it to either dynamic or static. And custom objects have a power input located right at their center. This is quite handy, as you can use this to change the color of an object by setting its on and off colors. You can set brightness too, and animation speed, if your material happens to be animated, of course. A sack boy should always know where his tools bag is. That'd look awesome on a t-shirt because it's so flipping well true. The tools bag is always in your pocket, and in it are the trappings to make your levels ebb and flow with the tides of your amazing imagination. The tools, gadgets, gameplay kit, sounds, and music will add animation and mild peril to your creations. The group tool, for example, allows you to join objects together for easier editing or perfectionist faffing. It's in the tools bag. Situate the cursor over items you wish to group together and press the selection button to add it to the object group. If you make a Freddy Fluff and select an item by accident, press the toggle button to deselect it from the group. Objects become highlighted once selected, so you know exactly which ones you're faffing with. If you think you have the entire group selected, press the Action button. And there you have it. You've formed a group. Now they will move in unison. Very handy. Now, put up your hands. This is a stick-up. Literally, because you can now glue objects together, providing they are meant to be glued together. No sticking a frog to a sheep to make a woolly jumper or anything like that. Gluing is a very quick and nifty way of creating a group, albeit with slightly less control over the assembled pieces. Pick which objects you want to glue together and place them against one another. You'll note that the objects become highlighted. Hold Action to seal the deal, and the objects are then glued together. The Capture Object tool allows you to save your creations so you can play with them at a later date, or share with your fellow Little Big Planetians. Select the Capture Object tool from the pop-it, choose the object you want to save, then press the Action button. There, saved for future delight in the My Objects page of your goodies bag. Little Big Planet's secondary directive is equality and goodwill to all sack persons, so you'd think there'd be no place for elitist things like scoreboards in our levels. Cobblers. If you've won a race and you want people to know about it while you triumphantly shout, "Yahoo sucks to you, Tristram," it's perfectly natural. So you'll find a scoreboard in the Gameplay Kits section of the Tools bag. Place one in your level, then select it with your menu button to bring up a feast of parameters. Parameters are extra bits and bobs to make a scoreboard work in precisely the way you'd like it to. Remember, the Little Big Planet prime directive is create and share. So why not share prizes from your own collection of goodies, trinkets, and fancy baubles? Or should that be fancy bubbles? Fancy prize bubbles. Yes, up here, love becomes a precious resource only when you've given it all away. Oh. Now, pay attention, as I need you to pick something up rather quickly. It's my dry cleaning. I'm kidding. It's info on pickups, actually. There's 3 types, and you need them to complete your first level. They are weapon pickups, score bubbles, and prize bubbles, and all can be found on the Gameplay Kit page of the Tools bag. Weapon pickups create weapons and power-ups. The old faithfuls like mines, heat-seeking rockets or boosts. Players can use these to their advantage in your races and battles. Score bubbles give you points towards your score. If you collect 5 or more in a row, you get a multiplier bonus, which is a nice incentive. Prize bubbles let you create prizes for the sack personages who visit your level. Share the love. That's what we say up here. Once you have placed a prize bubble, select it with the pop-it cursor and press the menu button to open its tweak menu. Now you can decide who gets what, so bear in mind who likes what. Don't ever get me an umbrella, by the way. I'm allergic to them. They bring me out in rain.